Hello, everybody, and welcome to a mini seminar on behalf of Spiritualism New Zealand. Today we have Christina Richter, who is based in Napier in the Hawke's Bay. Christina is, let me explain, a consulting intuitive astrologer specializing in medical. Very fortunate to have her with us. Welcome, Christina. It's really good to have you.
Thank you, Kim. I love coming back. Thank you for inviting me. Although it's only an intro, always a pleasure to talk with you and be a part of Spiritualist New Zealand.
Oh, thank you. Start off for the real basics for those who are maybe new to astrology. Is astrology?
Okay, in a nutshell, not possible, but we'll do my best. Because astrology is like an onion. You get to one layer and then it go, okay.
Yeah.
I define astrology very quickly as it is your soul's contract that you have devised before you were born. Just like you devise who you meet, your tribe, your lessons, and everything. But the soul contract, the astrology chart, has everything in it. Everything in it from your personality to your partners that you need to have, the lessons, your spiritual purpose, your health, your children, when to sell a house. Everything is in the chart, divided by the 10 planets, which we all possess, and the 12 houses, which reflect every single area of your life.
Wow, that is quite amazing.
I call it your GPS or your blueprint of life, but it is literally your soul's contract.
Right. And once you know this sales contract, this blueprint, then what?
What it does is I have an acronym that I use in astrology, AIR, which is the first breath you take and the last breath you take. AIR stands for awareness, where you can use things like astrology and Ayurveda and any other tool that you want to come across to help to understand who you are. There's this saying, as above, so below. The planets are above and the planets are within us. So understanding how they work for you on a personal level gives you that awareness. Then you've got the information that is pertinent to you and your growth and your path. And it can give you the guidance on where to go and at the timing to go. And the R is the responsibility that you take. You can choose to be an unevolved person and just live your life based on what's happening to you and see and just react as a result of that, or you can be a learn or choose to go down the path of being more evolved. Some would say enlightened, but I like to use the word more evolved. The more aware you are of yourself, the more you understand what you need and what you don't need, then you have that responsibility to choose to move into the better version of yourself if you choose to do that.
Wow.
And
Why
I
don't we
believe
all do it? Why, it's
oh,
amazing.
because people don't know that they actually do have to have and make a choice.
Right.
This is the thing. It's very, the saying ignorance is bliss. It is
Mm.
very nice to live in that space and not to have any awareness or any responsibility around what you should or shouldn't be doing.
Yes, true.
It's very
That's
easy
very
to
true.
blame and to transfer and to blame other people for what's happening to you rather than looking at it and saying, okay, this has happened to me more than once or twice. Maybe there is something here I'm needing to learn. This is why that old saying is, what is the definition of stupidity? The person who does the same thing and expecting a different result.
Mm,
Yeah,
exactly.
astrology can really help to get down to the nitty gritty, right? Whether you choose to take it on is your free will.
Mm,
And if you don't, then that's okay. If you choose not to, then the planets that are influencing the color of your behavior and your life, you will then live at the lower vibration of those planets. If you choose to move forward, then you learn how to use the higher vibration of those planets, which are very inspiring and empowering and all the rest of it. Again, it's the same planet, but it's like your POV. It's your point of view of what you choose to do. Mars can be very, the god of war, can be like, well, I'm going to go in and fight with everyone, lower vibration, or the higher vibration is, I am going to be assertive and stand my ground. But that doesn't mean we have to go to war.
Hmm. Hmm.
Same planet,
Wow.
different vibration. Yeah.
Ah, very interesting.
So that is where it comes from. And all the planets run the same,
Hmm.
as in lower vibration to higher vibration,
Wow.
depending on where you sit.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. All right.
Yes.
So I want to ask you now about medical astrology because that's your specialism, and there are very few people who are doing this. Can you tell us how you got into this and what it actually is?
Okay. So medical astrology is like you've got everything in your chart. So medical astrology is looking at the SWOT analysis of your chart. In accounting or in commerce, there is an acronym called SWOT, and that's how I like to refer to medical astrology. Medical astrology can show you your strengths, i.e., where you are strongest with your health. W, it can show you your weaknesses, so you know what you need to strengthen and how you need to strengthen it. It can show you that as well. Opportunities, the opportunities will come around when you will have times where your vitality will be very, very high. And that's times like that I say go on holiday because your
Right.
energy is high. And then you've got your threats, and your threats will come along and it will really no matter how much you know, it will dampen your vitality for a period of time. And I always say that is the time not to take on any extra stress because your body is going through a process. So knowing these times can actually help you to support, minimize, plan, do all these things. I actually outline all of this stuff in my two award-winning books. The first one is Your Astrological Health, available online or at my website, which Kim will say. This one, Silver Award last year, and Learn to Self-Heal, which goes into spiritual health and Ayurveda with a little bit of medical astrology for the layperson. This one, Bronze Award last year at the Global Book Awards. So I'm quite proud of that. First time I entered
Congratulations.
a book competition, and I actually walked away winning second and third in the alternative medicine department, or category, I should say.
Hmm.
So your sun, moon, and your ascendant are the strongest points that affect your chart. So for most people, a book like this, you can look at 30% of your chart. Okay, so and anybody who buys my books, either from Amazon, you can get them on email, or from White Light Publishing, or you can get them through my website, but you're better to get them through the publisher. Or if you are up this way, Napier Way, you can get them at Chantal's or get them from me directly. Then that's 30% of your chart, and it's a Bible that you can use with anyone in your family once you know their chart, and everybody gets a free chart.
Wow.
So I actually guide you. So if you were
Hmm.
to say to me, okay, this is my date of birth, time of birth, and place of birth, then I might say, okay, you're a sun in Capricorn, a moon in Leo, and an ascendant in Gemini, and that is what you read in here.
Wow.
It covers with case studies. I give you natural alternatives, foods, vitamins, aromatherapy, Ayurveda, color, minerals, chakras, crystals, and tissue salts, and recommended tips on how to keep yourself healthy for either your sun, moon, or ascendant.
Wow.
When your body is balanced, which is the belief in Ayurveda and Chinese medicine, which is a sister science to Ayurveda, and they both come down from Tibetan medicine. They're different branches of the same one. Um, they believe in element theory, where if your elements are balanced, you have a strong constitution. Astrology is the same. It's based on the four elements: fire, air, earth, and water. Some will have more or less. And when you have more of something, you have an overstimulation of something. And when you have less of something, you have usually an underproduction or an understimulation of something. In both situations, disease is a potential.
Right.
So knowing how to support these points in your chart medically and health wise can really keep you healthy into whatever age. I'm a firm believer that you don't have to be old and get sick.
Hmm.
And I'm living
Hmm.
proof of that. So I do not believe in this thing that just because you get old, you're going to have broken bones and you're going to have heart disease and all the rest of it. In my opinion, It can all be monitored if you choose to take responsibility for yourself and you are having the right information for your constitution.
Perfect.
Full stop.
Perfect.
And of course, I have a background in nursing, herbalism, Ayurveda, all this other kind of stuff, esoteric medicine. I have a background in all of that. So I'm not just purely coming from an astrological standpoint. My background with everything that I know, I have put it all together and it has all come out in a book like this or the other one,
Yes.
Learn to Self-Heal.
Wonderful.
Mm.
So, as well as health on a day-to-day basis or normal everyday life, how can astrology help us?
Well, if you know your chart, then you can be wary of certain things. Like even with the moon travels, it takes 2.5 days to go through one sign. There are 12 signs, Aries, Taurus, etc. It takes 2.5 days. The sun takes 1 month to go through one sign, hence why every 30 to 31 days you are at a new sign. Some of the outer planets might take longer. For example, Neptune has just ingressed into Aries, right? Whereas the moon will take 2.5 days to move through, and the sun will take 1 month to move through. Neptune is going to take 14 years to go through Aries,
Right.
as an example, and that's just working with 3 planets. So my point is, if you are a strong moon person, born at a full moon, or you have your sun, moon, or ascendant in Cancer, for example, you're guided by the moon, and you can have fluctuations in things in your life every 2.5 to 3 days
Wow.
because you're governed by the moon, and the moon is going bang, 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 different sign, different house, different sign, different house, and that's going to affect you on a daily level. Okay. Other people, we all have a moon somewhere in our lives, and the moon is our emotional and our mental and our emotional responses. It's also the moon also rules the soul. So if you know where the moon is sitting on a day-to-day basis, you can get that online or on any calendar or on any moon diary, then you can work with that. For example, I think the moon's in Virgo today. I'll give you a quick example. Today is the 31st, and the moon is in the sign of Virgo. So Virgo is all about service. It is all about, and it's ruled by Mercury, which is to do with communication, and it's about service, and it is one of the planets of health. So here we are, a medical astrologer, talking about astrology, being of service to whoever is listening to this.
Mm.
So that's just so that when you invited me to do this and you picked this day, it could not have been more perfect because the moon is in Virgo and we're talking about health. Yeah. So
Wow. Wow. Okay. Unfortunately, we only have a short amount of time in these mini seminars, and I know what you've given us is a tiny, tiny tip of the iceberg of your
very,
knowledge.
very small. Yeah.
I've known Christina for a number of years, and I'm always blown away with her a massive amount of knowledge of this subject. So, unfortunately, that's all we've got time for today. But if you could just explain to us the services that you provide and how people will access them.
Sure. I do health astrology, I do relationships, I do children's, I do natal, I do transits, I do solar, I do everything. I do not do government astrology or what they call mundane astrology, which is looking at the world politics. I do not do that, but I do everything else. Um, so you can have a look at my website, Christina Richter, author.com.
Mhm.
I'm also on Facebook under astroplus.co.nz and also Instagram for that. I just do Facebook and Instagram. Being inundated with too many other different platforms is enough to do your head in, and it's going to get worse with
Mhm.
Uranus moving into Gemini. There are going to be more and more platforms, and I'm a firm believer that you shouldn't be spending most of your time online because of how it affects your energy. It makes you feel scattered and ungrounded. So I limit myself to Facebook and to Instagram, and I have a private Facebook group, Christina's AAA, where I do monthly rotations around astrology, Ayurveda, natural health, and authorship. And so I try to encourage and support people and practitioners to promote and do everything through that page on a monthly basis. And if you want to email me, I'm crscorpio1111@gmail.com. 1111 being 1111, which is the date I was born. So I just figured that was nice and easy. So you can get me there. I'm based in sunny Napier, and I do clients all over the world, not just New Zealand. So I'm out there.
Yes.
In more ways than one. Thought I'd add that.
Certainly true, yeah. I will add all those details below the video so that people can check out your website and make contact with you and just take it from there and take advantage of the amazing benefits of the services that you offer. Thank you so much for your time today. Thank you so much.
Just one more thing. We've
Yes,
got
certainly.
1 more minute.
Yes.
If you want to check me out and you're based in New Zealand, go to Trade Me New Zealand under Astrological Advisor. I have got 200 plus reviews there. And you can Google me, Christina Richter Napier Astrologer, and I've got nearly 190 something reviews on Google. So go and see what other people are saying. And I usually find when I'm trying to find someone that has the integrity and that is genuine, that's where I go. I go and see what other people are talking about, not necessarily what the individual is saying. So just go check me out. I'm more than happy for you to do that.
Yes, I think I did have a look for you on Trade Me, and I think everybody gave you 100%.
Yeah, I'm still at 100% rating after being on Trade Me for many years.
All right, thank you so
Kim, always
much.
a pleasure. Always a pleasure to see you.
Yeah, and I'll put the details below.
I know you will.